On a blustery Saturday afternoon, we welcome you in here to our soccer coverage here on North Metro TV. I'm Blythe Whaley alongside Tim Singleton, and we'll be taking you through this doubleheader matchup. Centennial traveling here to the Bengals Stadium. And the last time these two teams matched up was last year's semifinal in the section playoffs. And Tim, last time Centennial did get the victory, but Coach Otteson was telling me before the game that these teams are two different teams. They've graduated quite a few players on both sides, and so that score last year won't play a huge factor today. It's going to be the team that comes out there and is ready to take on the game today.
No, I agree. Anybody who's ever played high school sports knows that every year you have people who graduate. You have new captains, you have new starting roles, you have people moving up, and no two teams are ever the same. So I wouldn't go too much on what happened last year. Although, you know, for the underclassmen, they're probably, you know, if you lose, you think about who beat you the last game almost all off season.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you might have a little bit of fire from both sides. But as far as talent and play goes, I'm sure it's going to be a completely different game altogether.
And now today, both of these teams having their first game of the season on Thursday, postponed due to weather. Today, having just a little bit different weather conditions, but still could play a factor today, right, Tim?
Yeah, I think the adjective used was blustering, and I don't think I've ever seen blustering as an understatement. But like literally, this could mess up hair that was using hair gel number 10. I mean, like this is about 25 miles an hour. I mean, this is like Fargo territory.
Exactly. And what we're seeing out here on the field, the Bengals is going to be going from the left hand of your screen to the right side. Centennial taking you from right to left. And we're just a few seconds underway here as both of these teams in their first game action of the year.
I've always been impressed by Centennial's following for soccer. I have seen over the years probably about 2 or 3 games of Centennial, and they've all been on the road, and they've always had fans with flags.
Yeah, exactly. They really get into it.
The European style, hey, hey, hey.
Ball just in front of net there. The Bengals trying to put one away right at the beginning of this one. It's going to be the team who can come out of the gates, set the pace of the game.
Yeah, a lot of times you get those guys who've been waiting all. What?
No, I was just going to say, across sent in, Alex Gabler again trying to help him, but keep going, Tim.
No, that first game out of the gate, it's almost like potential energy when you pull back a slingshot. You've been waiting all summer to get out there and make a difference.
Charlie Roba with that long throw, trying to find his teammate. Some strong pressure, though, Centennial, making sure that the Bengals are feeling that on the sideline.
Yeah, it looks like Blaine's wearing their traditional light. Is that light blue or baby blue?
Let's go with baby blue.
Baby blue, going left to right.
Change it up.
Columbia blue, all right. Going left to right, and then Centennial going right to left.
Taken down just outside the box. The Bengals in good positioning to take this free kick. This could change a lot of things early on in this game, getting this opportunity.
I'm going to say that's exactly 25 yards away from goal. The only thing I like about the American football field, you can tell exactly how far away the shot is.
This is
as
true.
You know, you can say this as a player yourself. Like, it's annoying as a player, but as an announcer, it kind of helps.
We'll take all the help we can get, and the football field certainly gave us that. Ball sent in and over the top. Delu, you think about it, it's the beginning of the game. You still have some of those nerves. You see him lean back too much on this free kick.
Yeah, you get that a lot for the first 5-10 minutes. You get those rough first touches and balls that, you know, go sailing, you know, way over the uprights.
Bengals doing a good job locking it in here as they continue to stay in their attacking half. But the Cougars working to get possession back as they have to fight pretty hard. The Bengals have come out of the gates strong tonight.
Yeah, they almost have to remember the old circle drill. Let's just play keep away, keep possession of the ball, get it to midfield, and go from there, because nobody wants to spend the entire half in their defending third.
Yeah, definitely. goalkeeper has it here for Centennial. Isaac Verke, he's a returner. He had such a tremendous season for the Cougars last year. So Coach Otteson was glad he's back to help them lead the way from the back of the field. Another foul coming for the Bengals. And again, yet great positioning to put this one on net. Let's take a look at this one again. Yeah, taken down. Right call there by the referee.
Looks like they're going for some trickiness again. Two guys lining up. We don't know who's going to take it. Oh, quick one.
Ball sent in over the top of everyone, but bouncing out. That ball, you still saw it hit the field, so you kind of are thinking maybe somebody could have been on that if they were ready to play that weak side runner. Let's take a look at this again. Yeah, it did pop in bounds. Somebody maybe could have saved that one, played it back in, but resulting in Verke going to take this free kick for the Cougars.
One thing I always like to look at as a coach anyway, is how far the keeper can get the ball out. Now, he got it to the 35, the opponent's 35 from his hand. Let's see how far he can get on the goal kick. Oh, a little short one there.
Yeah, and to the other team as well. Right back at him. Shot fired here for the Bengals. And that early shot, again, they've had a lot of them not going where they want them to, not on net. And this is Jack Moore. He is a huge impact player for the Bengals. Out last year due to ACL surgery, and Coach Aerosmith very glad to have him back this year. Here it is again. Up and over everything. We'll see if they're able to straighten that out as the minutes roll forward.
All right, much better from the goal kick position from Centennial there.
Centennial with possession. We'll see if they're able to keep that and work into the attacking half. The Bengals have really shut them into this defensive mindset they've had to have just as they've continued to come at them early on.
I don't think Centennial has had possession on the other side of the 50-yard line. That makes for a long day.
Yeah, and Lucas Skipper, first time touching the ball, I believe, back there for the Bengals.
Get him, Skipper.
Yeah, he had to skip and grab that one. See if you'll have some more action as Centennial gets warmed up through these early minutes. Something Coach Aerosmith was telling me before the game was that when you think about a game like today, they've been having all their preseason practices and things at 7 a.m. They chose that time slot. So they've been up early and been used to running on this turf without all of the heat. And today, not as warm as it has been. The sun isn't quite out, seeing these clouds coming in. So they've lucked out in that regard. But certainly this turf will get hot as the game goes on.
They chose to wake up at 7?
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, they picked that time slot is what he said.
No, that last kick off the ground got it to about midfield. One thing I like to do is see how far the goalie can get it and then have my guy stand right about at the end of his range to be in a good spot to start going the other way.
Ball dribbles out there as the Cougars try to make a run into their attacking half. Bengals getting possession back. They'll look to work out of their defensive end, and it seems like they're doing so with ease. Touched out of bounds. Lucky break for the Cougars. So they'll get another shot at putting it back.
Play for about 7.5 minutes in here. So far, it looks like all blue.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing that domination by the Bengals. When they've had the ball, they've kept it in their attack for quite some time, and that can just show that, or later in this game, as the defense for Centennial possibly going to break down after having this much pressure early on.
By the way, that was foul number 3 on Centennial. Still none for the Bengals.
Yeah, it was a great replay there showing us what exactly happened at about half field. Defense having to track this down for the Bengals, watching it go out. But the Cougars were able to step up. That was Caleb Marifi for the Bengals, who's given up the throw, going to let his teammate take it for him.
No, I like what you said about the the bend but don't break type defense. You notice the first couple shots went high, wide. Some of them weren't even close. But the further you get into that game, the easier they become. Oh, flags up.
Call this one back offsides, but
yeah.
Jack Moore wanting to make a run. He had some good numbers, he thought, not having to take on too many defenders, but gonna have to.
But the more you get settled down, the more accurate the shots become. And so, you know, by the time you get to that 5th or 6th shot, you're going to be getting pretty accurate. So, you know, it's a matter of how long the defense can hold up.
And I like that the players, they continued to play this. The defense didn't just stop playing as they maybe could have thought that that was offsides. You saw both teams seeing that one all the way through. There's Jack Moore.
Oh, the replays show.
Playing it back here because of that offsides call.
Get it, Skipper. Oh. For those of you that are my age and remember Gilligan's Island, I think it'd be funny if Skipper kicked it here to his little buddy.
Centennial attackers right there to put the pressure on. Dangerous ball across the top of the 18-yard box. The Bengals coming away unscathed. Charlie Roba playing those square balls across the top of the 18 can definitely set you up to have one-on-one with your keeper, but Bengals get away with it and on an attack of their own.
Yeah, Blaine doing a much better job getting the ball to the midfield line. It's the equivalent of beating a full court press, so to speak, in basketball.
See them working on the top of the 18-yard box, sandwiched. The Cougars come away with it, sending it up the near side of the field, looking like it's going to roll out. And that's what happens on the turf. The turf rolls so quickly.
I like the idea at the higher levels, you'll get guys who, you know, when they just missed the ball, they'll give them the thumbs up. You know, like, that was a good idea. I just couldn't get to it. Yeah.
Throwing for the Bengals results in this turnover back to the Cougars. They have some time, they have some space to turn and face up.
There's that wind building up again. I think you said it was 16 miles an hour is what they said, but the gusts have got to be close to 25.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, they're rattling the booth.
Yeah, if we weren't in the press box, we'd be blown away.
Yeah, we'd be the 3 little pigs in the, what do they got, the straw house and the...
Oh, yeah.
What's the other one, the twig house? Not the brick house.
Yeah, the brick house. We're in the brick house right now.
Thank goodness, right?
Verke sending long ball forward. Bengals able to get a body on that one to help them gain the ball back. We've seen them do quite well finding each other's feet, this time turning it over. The Cougars will get to work through the middle to try to set something up. They haven't had too much action here in the attack, and a slip up. Bengals have the ball back. Ryan Bolham.
That was an important one. That was the first time I saw them with control possession on the other side, so giving it up rather cheaply there.
Yeah. And hopefully after these beginning minutes roll off, both teams settle into the play that they're used to showing in those preseason practices. Ball sent up. Jack Moore into the box. Off the defender, back off of Jack. But Verke in position to make the save. Take a look again. Moore entering the box. Back to him, but Verke again in that position.
Get it, Skipper.
To make the save. Skipper, also a great decision to come out and collect that ball. Again, goalkeepers do that quite well, I would say, making that decision oftentimes if they're going to come out and scoop it up. Usually the right decision. Otherwise, they're going to have 1v1. And
well, yeah, I was a goalkeeper too, and I equate it to almost like seeing a fastball. Like, how long do you have before you get to choose whether you're going to swing at a fastball, like a quarter of a second? Like,
Yeah, true.
for the keeper, it's the same thing. You have to analyze, all right, can I get to the ball before that guy, yes or no? And that's it, because if you let him come in on you, that is a big goal to defend.
Great give and go. Adam getting
nice
it
dribble.
back up to Jack Moore now. Couple defenders on him. He's going to take his time. But the Cougar defense stepping up big time to make this stop when they needed to. Some substitutions coming in for both teams. Ryan Oboji coming in for the Bengals, as well as Marco V2. We're gonna see what that does to their attack, having a couple different players, fresh legs. We've already seen them have great combinations up top.
Could you imagine this in like boxing? We're like, okay, the 7th round, we're gonna bring in somebody else with fresh legs to
Yeah, to come against you. It's like, no.
Can you imagine the guy you're guarding has like been out there for 90 minutes and all of a sudden you have a guy who's doing sprints on the sideline coming in? Oh boy.
Like, not again, not again. Bengals, Charlie Roba. Gonna throw it in. But first, the substitution. Kevin Sarzan comes in, replacing Caleb Marifi.
I'm not sure if you can see the assistant referee, or AR as we call them, or their jerseys even, really blowing in the wind there.
Yeah, starting to get that picture of what it looks like out there on the field for these guys. Doesn't always play a huge factor until that ball gets in the air.
My coach said if you hit it correctly or squarely enough, it shouldn't matter. But you know, hey, souvenir. What you have to do is, you know, realize that there's going to be more variance in the air, so you really got to try to kick from a little bit closer if you're really trying to go for goal.
Trejo playing that one forward. Bengals able to be first too, getting the touch on it. Centennial coming away with it. Time, space in the midfield, sending it over to that far side of the field. Again, they're finding feet this time in that attack, which we haven't seen as much from them. But the Bengals stopping that quickly. So we're having some back and forth action.
I think it's funny when you get like 6 guys fighting for the ball. It just looks like a pile of twigs. You know, like you have 8 legs in there going around. It looks like a pile of twigs and you don't know who's going to come up with it.
Yeah, you especially see that in younger soccer when it really becomes a huge mob and they're all kicking at it and they're nowhere near.
The younger you go, the more we call it the bees on honey defense.
Yes.
You know, where they just kind of swarm to the ball and nobody really knows their position. Like my son who's 6, they have them run around and then they throw the ball in there and call it soccer.
True, yeah.
They're playing tag and then they just throw the ball out there.
Substitution there for the Cougars. That's Haroon Bula just playing this ball forward, looking for the give and go. They don't get it. They give the overlap pass instead. Cougars inside the box with a chance, but the Bengals had the numbers, able to get this one out of danger quickly.
Yeah, he had about a half a second there from the 11-meter line or the penalty stripe. They're showing the overlapping run right in front of the net. Yeah, at that point you have to act so fast it's almost like instinct.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you don't even have any time to think.
Charlie Roba throwing it up. Seen that happen a few times there with the throw-in, the other team getting the ball quickly, so needing to hone in on those first touches.
One fun thing I think about American sports is that we almost always have scoring, whether it's hockey or football or basketball, and you can get the kind of idea of what kind of game it was. You know, like if it's 50-25 at half in an NBA game. Soccer, there are many different types of 0-0 games, as I'm sure you can attest to as a former player.
That is very true. Cougars, tricky
nice
play there. As they look to get this one on net. Skipper having to make the save. Does well when he needed to. Hasn't had a whole ton of action, but that was a great build-up there for the Cougars.
We had 3 in a row. We had an awesome pass, a great shot, and an even better save. So 3 great bits of soccer there, all within about 10 seconds. Uh-oh, corner flag down. Both of them are down. Do we give them a 10 count to stand back up?
The Cougars set up that first corner kick of the day.
Yeah, when we said double header, that's not what we meant today.
Yeah, you guys trying to get under it. I felt like when the ball went in the box there was so much blue. It looked like a sea. They were all there waiting for that ball. Didn't see as many Cougars.
But we do have, for the first time today, some real build-up and some really good chances. So it seems like they've taken Blaine's best punches and are still willing to get forward.
Yeah, they're starting to hone in on what they can do in this game, settle in after those early minutes, or maybe some nerves are out there on the field after not having a game yet this season. Both teams almost having it, but then the storms that came in Thursday halting that.
Sometimes when you watch higher level soccer, you'll see a goalie make a save early in a game and then give him like the 2 hands palms down, like easy, relax.
It's all
we
down.
got this.
As the Bengals look to work up the center of the field, I like the idea of sending it out wide.
All right,
foul there, as you had mentioned, quite a few from Centennial in this first half so far.
Foul number 4, yeah, against none for the Bengals.
19:26 remain in this first half. Still sending it up the field. Bengals gonna have a chip to send that one across. Again, not finding their teammates there in the box.
Ooh.
Tough deflection there.
That's gotta hurt.
Just gotta flex everything to be ready for the impact.
What happens if it hits you in the eye?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not very good at flexing my eyes.
Bengals have possession again in their attacking half. They've had it for a bit here as the Cougars recover. But again, locking it in at least that attacking half. They're keeping Skipper from having to really play a great game this first half. He's only had a few opportunities where he's needed to make a save. Bam, you saw that. That certainly, he's tough.
You get man of the match just for that. Forget he's a hockey player.
Yeah, exactly. Bengals having time. Cougars aren't there. Still unable to connect. Goes back to the Cougars. As they play this one out wide.
Open.
Bengal defense recovering nicely. That was Galupa.
Great recovery time. Sometimes, I mean, it's almost like playing defensive back, where if your guy gets by you and you see the ball in the air, it's like, whoop, gotta go.
Exactly.
And your closing time is every bit as important as how well you play defense, how well you mark the guy. So.
Yeah, Galupa was trying to get that shot off, but the defense of the Bengals has stepped up time and time again to really shut them down before that actually is able to come to fruition. Bodies there in the middle of the field. Create the contact for Brian Aboji to just come in and pick it up after those two guys trying to make a play on it.
Going in hard. Like it. I'll take things you don't see in rec soccer for 500, Alex. One thing that might be interesting to know is when I played, I was a keeper and Blaine was an attacker. So she'll probably try to score a few goals on me here in the booth, but we'll have two very different perspectives for you.
Yeah, maybe that's the halftime show, guys. We're going to get out there.
Actually, I didn't even have a G next to my name. It was an S. That was the Civ.
Yes.
Like on my soccer card.
Cougars with possession. They keep it after getting stopped up by the Bengals. Again, the Cougars have really been trying to get a handle on this game and how they can play. Sending the cross in here for the opportunity. The header was able to happen. The contact not exactly how he would have liked it to put it towards net. But that build-up for the Cougars looks promising as this game goes forward. They've gotten a few more opportunities in these last minutes. Take a look at it again. Beautiful cross.
Ooh, close.
Again, found the head. Mansour was able to be there, just not how he would have wanted it to deflect off his head.
Foul number 5. That was probably the most, the forearm shiver. By the way, it's hats off to the refs so far. 25 minutes, no problems.
Yeah, we're approaching just 15 minutes remaining in the first half. 0-0, both teams trying to open the floodgates.
No cards yet. Yeah, refs have to be really careful when they give out their first yellow card because it sets a precedent. So anything higher than that, you know, has to be a yellow card. Otherwise, you get deemed inconsistent.
More substitutions and fresh legs coming in for both teams.
I think I got a yellow card during the anthem once.
During the anthem? That doesn't happen quite often. That doesn't happen. Mine are always when it's 1v1 with the keep. Of course, they're going to try to make sure that that keeper is safe. Such a dangerous position as they have to try to get down low. But when you're on the run and you're just trying to get anything on the ball as you are on a full-out sprint, it can be tough not to have contact.
Or not
with
to
them.
step on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're not thinking about them. You're just like one foot in front of the other.
Yep, looking at the ball, both players are.
Oh!
Coming out, Verke lucked out to have his defender right there to help him out. He wasn't able to fully handle that one.
You see what he did? He had to. He looked like he was going to handle it, and then looked down because he crossed the 18-yard box in slide. So he was going to use his hands, but the thing is, if he he comes up. Look, it looked like he was going to use his hands. Now, if you use your hands on purpose outside the box for a keeper, that's a red. Intentional use of your hands. Yeah. Nice alert play by the goalkeeper there.
They come out of it unscathed. Centennial even had a chance coming the other way after that to put it on net.
That's one thing where the lines on a soccer field are much more pronounced. You know exactly where you are. But, I mean, when there's 4 different lines out there. No, he put his hands up like he was going to grab it. And then he's like, ah! You know, like, I can't anymore. I've lost my superpower.
Centennial substitutions coming in, helping them for this final 12:36 in the first half. Trying to do everything they can just to find the back of the net, put themselves up for halftime. And Cougars with a build-up trying to do that, stopped by the Bengals.
Oh, we have a foul on Blaine.
First one of the night, or the afternoon, excuse me.
Now, one thing I could add is I was telling you before about, you know, there are many different types of 0-0s as we go over the foul here again. Oh. What? You can't do that?
Yeah.
for the first 12 minutes, Centennial barely got the ball across half, but the last 15 minutes, most of the time has been spent in the Blaine half. So you see a definite momentum shift here in the last 15 minutes.
Garrett Anderson takes the kick towards Skipper. He's unable to handle it. I like that the Cougars had a player running onto that just for that reason.
If he spills it, yeah. Look like Garrett with the shot there. Here comes in again, spills it just a little bit.
And that's something that Centennial is going to want to keep a note of as this game goes forward, that he might bobble it going throughout the rest of the game. And another opportunity in the box. Skipper coming out to make the save.
See, yeah, when the goalie has possession of the ball, he has complete immunity, shall we say. You're not allowed to touch him, but if he spills it, that is fair game. Like, anybody can go get it.
Verke coming way out of his box to make a play on this ball. Let's take a look at this one again.
1-on-1.
Skipper had to come out, I would say, in that scenario.
Yeah.
That Centennial Cougar was right there.
Well, some keepers, you know, have their biggest strength is one-on-one. And I would say he did a great job there, identifying that you have to cut down the angle.
Off of the Cougars, Bengals awarded the throw. Snyder.
Looks like the wind has given us somewhat of a break.
Bowman sent that one in. Up and over everything. Verke's gonna run and grab that. Bring it back for his goal kick. Coming in for the Cougars, Aiden Ballard.
To a round of applause, those traveling Centennial fans. Goal kick got out to about the 40, not bad. Foul against Centennial, what's that, 6-1 now?
Yeah, we've seen quite a few. And in the early part of the season, guys trying to figure out what that looks like. Glad that they're coming out aggressive. I'm sure Coach Otteson is happy to see that, but as we get further in the season, some of those fouls could put them in dangerous situations, knowing a game like today, 0-0, if they're awarding something too close to Verke to have to try to make a big save because of it. Battle there. Bengals working through the box, but stripped away.
Going back to what you said, it looks like Blaine has spent some time on their set pieces. I mean, they had 3 guys lined up, and they were kind of tricky, and they came close. That first one, it wasn't bad. So, like, I would say that giving Blaine a shot inside 30 yards would be dangerous. And sometimes in games like this, 1 goal is all you need. 1 goal will settle it.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens today, if it is just that lone goal, if we will see it, or if once those floodgates open, you also do see that sometimes too, where a team will just give up a couple quick goals and all of a sudden now the score is 2-3-0 and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah, and then what? Yeah, and then you go from 5 guys in the back to 3 guys in the back, and then it just becomes completely open.
Cougars send this one out of their own end. Bengals having some time. I like that they're using the keeper here. Skipper coming up.
Yeah,
play it through the middle.
They're always taught that. Play back to your keeper. Kick the way you're facing.
Yeah, exactly. They have the whole vision of the field back there in great positioning to find that open player. Cougars finding feet.
Yeah, as a keeper, I always told my guys, I'm not yelling at you. I can just see more than you.
Yeah, give it to me.
You can see what's in front of you. I can see the whole field.
Bengal defense using their time as they send this one long and up the field. Oh, Zachary Sherry. Bengals trying to switch the sides of the field for their attack. Able to do so, getting back through the middle. Jack Moore tapping this one wide, but able to use the support pass. A miss hit results in the Cougars coming on the attack. Bengals shutting that down within seconds to get the ball back, keeping it in their attacking half. Sherian being defended outside the 18-yard box by almost 3 players. But the Bengals are continually putting this pressure on this back line for the Cougars.
One thing I can tell you is I've noticed, I think that was about the 3rd or 4th slide tackle by Blaine without a foul. That is usually the mark of a very well-coached team. That they know when to go to the ground and they're not reckless. So to me, that's impressive. Like that, on the other hand, was a little reckless.
Both teams coached by coaches that are over 20 years with the program. Barry Aerosmith for the Bengals, 23rd season with them. And on the flip side, Coach Otteson for the Cougars, 24th or 25th year, he was telling me before the game, that he has been around this program.
It's a long time.
Yeah, they've seen their fair share of probably everything. Could be in that many years. But their program's lucky to have them around. The consistency helps the players so much.
The type of stability. Well, at that point, you get guys who, my dad played for you.
Yeah, exactly. Bengals finding that player who's able to be all the way lined up, coming from the defense, but stripped away. This could be an attack here for the Cougars. That defenseman for the Bengals came all the way up. And sometimes that can just result in this wide open alleyway.
Prime for a counterattack. See
Under
that,
5 minutes, just 4:28 remaining.
That safe sign you saw from the referee. It pretty much means I saw that, and I deemed it was not a foul. That's pretty much what that means.
Cougars had an opportunity at getting a shot off. Kalupa was the man taking the hit. More substitutions. 3:54 in this scoreless first half. Both teams wanting to go into halftime with that slight advantage if they could find a way to net one. Certainly don't want to allow one here with just those few minutes on the clock.
Yeah, there's an important term that a lot of soccer coaches use called the run of play, which means like almost momentum. I would say that momentum was 80-20 in the favor of Blaine for the first 15 minutes, but I would say it's definitely closer to 60-40 for Centennial in the last 15 minutes. Yeah, 15, 20 minutes, give or take, as we go into the end of the first half.
Yeah, we're seeing them come alive, start to wake up a little bit more. It is an afternoon game. It's not a morning game, but it seems like the Cougars needed just that time to adjust and get ready to game play.
I mean, like I've heard people, the NCAA guys talk about, from the smaller schools that during the first 3 minutes of the NCAA tournament, they can't even breathe. I mean, they're so nervous, like they're on national TV. And that, so just to get that out and just say, I just have to play my game.
Opportunity for the Cougars.
Ooh!
Shot fired in off the crossbar, and Skipper got the help from that post for sure.
One time in warm-up, I heard a player say, I hate that sound. It sounds like it sounds like a hammer on a pipe. He goes, I hate that sound. I said, what are you talking about? I love that sound.
Yeah, exactly. That's helping.
As the keeper, I love that sound. Clank! It's your good buddy there, Mr. Post.
That's so funny.
I believe that's the first post we've hit so far today.
Yeah, and it just goes with your point that the Cougars have found their footing here late on in this first half to have these opportunities to build up the field to even get that shot on net.
Well, yeah, like I said in the beginning, some of the nerves lead to a very, very rough first touch. For those non-soccer players out there, that's just how far you can keep the ball away from your body or how close you can keep it to your body as when you're trying to control it. So if somebody passes it to you and it hits off your foot and it goes 5 yards, somebody else can get it. But you know, the goal is to give some give to your foot so it doesn't go anywhere and you can retain possession. That's really a tough thing to do in the first minute when you're nervous.
Ball sent up. Sherian not able to get a handle on it to bring it down. His teammate gonna help him out. Cougars were able to get a much needed foot on it to stop that Bengal buildup.
1 minute left to go here.
As we round out the first half, again, not wanting to allow any goals on either side. They're wanting to make sure that they make it into halftime, at least with this 0-0 score, if not getting to go ahead. Skipper falling on it.
Actually, what's even worse is when you give up a cheap one before half, like you work and work and work, and it's 0-0, like you feel is a fair score, and then they are able to sneak one by, and it's like, ugh.
Like you said, sometimes that pressure, you're pushing all the guys forward, trying to get something because the time is winding out, and then that counterattack leaves them vulnerable.
Great 1-2 play there.
Bengals sending the cross. Jack Moore trying to run onto it, but Verke making a play that is most notable for him, just coming out. And
actually, that was the best play since the pass, shot, and save down here. There was a great 1-2, a great ball over there. The only thing is, showed the keeper a little bit too much of the ball. Was able to come out and get it.
And as you talked about momentum, just helping Blaine feel some momentum now coming into half, that build-up, getting it back on net. Both teams have had their opportunities in this first half.
Yeah, I would say a lot of times, a lot of feeling out in the first half, but these guys, they'll have a lot to talk about in the 15 minutes, and they'll know what they got in store for them the next 40 minutes in the second half.
Well, still scoreless here on our doubleheader Saturday. We'll be back for more second half soccer after this. Back for the second half here at Bengals Stadium. I'm Blythe Whaley alongside Tim Singleton, and we're still sitting at 0-0 in this matchup. The Cougars showed some more attack as the first half went on, but the Bengals really came out of the gates and had it from the beginning of the game, that pressure that they needed to have throughout this game.
Yeah, looking at the stats, it looks like the only shot on goal that Blaine had was earlier on, right? And then we would have 4 shots on goal for Centennial. So, but still yet to make the breakthrough.
Yeah, and you think about all those opportunities the Bengals had that just went over the crossbar by, just a foot or two. And you think about if they could have got those down, what that could have looked like to put it on net and give Verke, the opportunity to have to work for it a little bit more.
Sometimes it only takes one. That's one thing that always kind of drew me to soccer, that the best team doesn't always win, right? It's always who's got the more. I mean, it's almost like getting hits in baseball. You can hit a screamer right to somebody and get out, or you can hit a pop fly that just kind of finds its way between the outfielders, right? So it's not always, fair, so to speak, but it's whoever can find the breakthrough.
Well, the Cougars having quite a few fouls in the first half. Now the Bengals coming out of the gates already with 1 on the board. Long lofted ball coming in over the top of Skipper. It was left of the goal, so he didn't have to make a save.
Sign him up for the football team. That was a touchback.
Yeah, I was going to say, he definitely got some air on that one.
Whee!
Skipper gonna have his first goal kick of the second half. He plays it short, giving it to his defender.
Actually, that takes me back to that first goal kick by Centennial where they kicked it right to Blaine
Yeah.
and they got their shot. I mean, sometimes that's all it takes is one mental breakdown over the course of 80 to 90 minutes. If they put that away and the game ends 1-0, that's the only difference.
Yeah, as the time ticks down, of course, it's the second half, so these guys. Yeah, we have a correction here for the second half. They have switched keepers here as we come into it. Coach Aerosmith now putting Griffin Dunnigan in net, giving him a chance to show his stuff. First game.
Good hustle.
And that's what happens early on. They graduated their keeper last season. Now both of these keepers being sophomores, looking good for the program to be able to have just that growth, what it can look like for the years to come. Ball sent in, and Dunnigan having to make a stop early on to help his team. And that can be tough, you know, not playing the first half. Now you're coming out in the second half, having to really be on top of your reflexes when you haven't had those balls sent towards you in quite some time.
Actually, I'm in almost the same way. Skipper, after the first 15 minutes, he didn't have anything to do in the first 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden they got a counterattack, and you got to wake up.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, that's what I always thought. It was tough for keepers when they don't always have the action, just having to stay alert and ready for that to happen, because in a matter of seconds they could be full bore, having to take all of that at them and make something happen. Sending it up, Bengals running onto it, coming out of the net. Sticking with their keeper, of course, Isaac Verke, proving himself time and time again.
They tend to call that the sweeper keeper. Sweeper is a defensive position that they have for younger soccer players. We're like the last line of defense. But because of the offsides rule, we don't have this in the. They don't have that position. So kind of like the sweeper that comes out like that, acts as a sweeper and a keeper put together.
Ball sent in for the Cougars inside the box, and it's a goal! The Cougars find the back of the net here early on in the second half. Cal Balbish. I believe is our goal scorer.
4 minutes and 15 seconds into the second half. Using his noggin. There, the against the grain of the keeper. So he catches the keeper going the wrong way and then misdirects it perfect. Yeah, you can't ask for much more than that out of a striker. Good old number 10.
How awesome for the Cougars. Again, finding their footing late in the second half. It seems like they really got in their groove. But now leading this one 1-0. And that can change things now. Cougars sitting up by 1. We talked about momentum and what that can do to a game, and Cougars now going to have some, you would think, in these next minutes to come.
Well, they always say that you're most likely to concede a goal after scoring one because you're still kind of euphoric about, hey, we're ahead. And nothing stinks more than that.
Yeah, definitely. I remember my coach would say it kind of goes either way. Those next minutes after a goal, it's either they're going to score another one because the defense is so deflated, or is that defense going to rise to the occasion and they're going to take it to them, and like you said, have that team concede the goal. Bengals deep in that final third, hitting it off the Cougars and gonna get a corner kick now. This can be a nice opportunity for the Bengals to try to get this back. The set piece, we've talked earlier in the game about how it seems they've worked on those already this season.
Well, it looks like they're really going for it. They got 8 guys up there. Only two defenders and the keeper is hanging back.
All the way over the top of everyone. Would have liked to have seen that weak side runner, somebody to help keep that ball in play. But ultimately, that ball does come down inside the box. Near header.
Bit too much air under it, yeah.
From Ethan Weens trying to get in there.
Oh, just dribble it out of bounds. That will happen from time to time.
Yep, played it just a hair too close.
Well, they always teach you to look ahead. Don't look at the ball. So every once in a while the ball will just kind of travel across the line. And, Coach, I was looking up the field.
Cougars have it back, some time in the middle of the field. Wanting to send that one up.
Oop, a bit rough.
Yeah, you see the collision resulting in a Cougar foul. We've had quite a few this game. You hear some of the crowd not exactly agreeing with the call. Yeah, I agree. It's tough. You saw the collision from both players, but certainly could have seen that go either way.
Sometimes as a ref, it's a violent collision. You got to call it on somebody, but like, who am I going to call it on?
Shot, yeah. 50-50 shot to get that one right. Bengals keeping it in their attacking half.
I mean, think about it as like two cars crashing into each other head to head, and you'd be like, all right, who's the foul on?
Yeah, which
pick a side. You're like
Alex Gabler put that one back in for the Bengals. Cougars get possession, work it over that half line, and send this one deep. Dunnigan getting another touch on it. He's had some time now without the pressure being on him as we saw in these early minutes. Good step through here for the Bengals. Alex Gabler.
Yeah, one thing you might notice if you're watching at home, sometimes later on in the game, when legs tire, there's a lot more time to decide what they want to do with the ball. Right, so you look here, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. He had 3 seconds to decide what he wanted to do with it. That's something you almost never see in the first half.
Yeah, Bengals helping out goalkeeper Dunnigan, not even having to make a play as they got inside the box. Defense took care of it for them. Collision in the middle of the field.
High-speed collision.
Players down on both sides. I'm not quite sure what they hit. Bengal looks like he's grabbing his leg. But players down on both sides, and it's again, what is the referee going to signal
you can
here?
call it either way. I mean, that's basically like two cars driving and hitting each other head on. You got to call a foul on somebody. So, I mean, they're both kind of running at full speed and just kind of.
Bengals still down on the turf. He's being tended to. .31-11 on the clock remaining in this game. Cougar is sitting up 1-0.
Looks like the guy is down. Turadalu, number 17 for Blaine, the central midfielder. Making a good play on the ball. Probably knocked his knee somewhere around there. That really hurt. It's not a long-term injury, but it really hurts when you hit it. Nice round of applause.
It's not something more serious. Hopefully we'll see him return in this game. Able to walk off on his own, so at least some encouragement from what that injury could be. We'll see.
And they called the foul on him.
Yeah, the Cougars will get the ball, kicking it in quickly after getting told they're able to. Into the box. Cougars trying to keep it in play, sending it outside that right side of the net. Dunnigan came out, put some pressure on it, which definitely helped that attacker have to speed up his play. What was he going to do, even though that ball was coming all the way at a bad angle to try to put that one back on net? Bengals using some footwork to get this one over onto the far side of the field. Cougars come up with it. Bengals get it back. And that's what we've seen sometimes in the middle of the field here. It's just the back and forth action until one of the teams starts to find a way to connect and move it further up the field. But just in that middle section of the field or just a little over on both sides, we've seen some back and forth action happen quite quickly.
Yeah, lots going on in the middle third there. We have the defending third, the middle third, and the attacking third. So the middle third would be between the 30s, so to speak. Yeah, lots going on there.
Bengals switching the field, and that's going to make the defense of the Cougars have to adjust and recognize that. Bengals sending it up and over the top, trying to get their forward to run onto it. That's Shirian, who's looking to try to take it down inside the box. But throw-in coming now for the Bengals. Quick throw-in there from Gabler. Wanting to send up Amir Adam, who found his way to the turf. Bengals will get the throw in here, try to set something up close in.
Yeah, I would say that they don't have to enter panic mode yet. You know, not really a sense of urgency with a half hour to go. You've plenty of time to build up.
Great point, Tim. Yeah, in soccer, you do have quite a bit of time to make that up, and certainly it really comes into the long game. Who's in it? How do you stay in it to be in those? When you're in that position to make something happen, to actually capitalize on it. Because if you do try to force it, oftentimes it's working against you, possibly allowing the team to counter.
There are two real ways you can get the ball upfield. I mean, there is sustained build, and then there are like boot and counterattack. Oh, there it is.
Finds his way into the back of the net. This is the player who Coach Aerosmith was excited about his return. Jack Moore shows us why his coach was so thrilled to have him back. Tied up here at Bengal Stadium. 1-1 is now our score.
So fireworks in the second half. That happens sometimes. I mean, like, look at the separation he's able to get. He turns them inside, right, and fires across, right? Sometimes that's all you need is just a little bit of space. And that isn't there in the first half, where somebody stuck you like glue when they're a yard off. Sometimes that's all it takes.
You see the celly coming from Jack Moore.
Yeah.
And I also have torn my ACL in my career, and so I know how much that means to come back and have an impact after you've been having to take some months off.
Actually, when you're on the ground and you're like mad, it's not because it hurts. It's because you know how long you're going to be out for.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not mad because it hurts. You're like, this is going to take 6 to 8 weeks.
Months.
Whatever. Oh, ACL is worse.
Yeah, that's what it was. His was ACL, mine too, and yeah, it's a long time. You know that you're gonna have to. That was probably even worse on my second ACL. The first one I didn't really know how long it was gonna take.
Yeah,
I
then
didn't fully grasp what that would be like to tear my ACL. The second one, I was like, this is gonna be some time. This is unfortunate.
Oh!
An almost opportunity again for the Bengals, wanting to find that go-ahead goal.
Yeah, that was true. The guy was just down. Good to see him back out there.
Yeah, like you said, sometimes just those quick injuries that feel like there's something more than they really are.
Like I was talking about, like a hamstring, or like a severely torn calf, where you know it's going to take 2 months.
Yeah, it's like, oh. Cougars on the far side. Rolling out the back line. Let's take a look at this crossbar shot. Bam!
Yeah, that hit the bottom side of the crossbar. If it hits the top side, it ends up going out, but it came right back. I mean, so that was on the good half of the crossbar too. I mean, that was from distance too. I mean, where did he shoot that from? From about the 25?
Yeah, exactly. He had
let her rip.
Some weight on that ball. Moore Looking to flick this one on to Shirian.
Well, kind of like I was saying, like when you run into somebody that really hurts, but it doesn't last very long. Once it fades off, you're fine.
Substitution coming in for the Bengals. Quinn Snyder. Gonna have some rested legs.
So we have 25 minutes left here, but yeah, I am seeing a little bit, a lot more space opening up. I mean, if you look at the Blaine guys here, you know, they looks like they have a fair amount of room to work.
Foul awarded. Bengals gonna get to push up the field and take this. Quickly they do. Jack Moore. Almost 4 guys on him, but referee will give him the call.
He's sandwiched between 4 guys, but they barely touched him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was surprised to hear the whistle.
So this is when the dissenting opinion will let you know what they think.
And we will have this kick coming from Jack Moore. Again, a little bit of distance, but definitely he's able to put this one on.
Oh, absolutely.
Net.
I mean, this would be a 35-yard field goal. I mean, like, it doesn't take much leg to get in that.
Here he goes.
Oh,
Wanting to
good
find
save.
his second, but the keeper, Verke, able to tap this one up and over. We'll have a corner kick coming for the Bengals. Another good opportunity for them.
Only their second one of the game, it looks like. So, but I mean, that was the second really good shot on goal. So they seem to be applying the pressure here.
Put it inside the 6. Cougars able to hit it out.
See, and look how much space he has.
Yeah, they have time to build this one up. Shirian
Offsides.
wanting to get inside the box. Referee pulls the flag up, and it's going to go back to the Cougars. They quickly get this one up. They know that now it's a tie game again. They're going to have to net another one to be able to get the win today. And as you said, we see the space opening up.
Look at Tooney. He's got him up the line. Look how much space he's got.
Jack Moore.
See, now he's got about 7 yards. Yeah.
Defender did come up on him quickly. He didn't quite.
That's a good way to make
that,
up for giving him a cushion.
Yeah.
Oh, good idea. Just not quite enough.
Ethan Weens. The Cougars send this one up the line. Gonna be close one to try to keep that one in play. Defenders shielding it to make it out of bounds.
Yeah, I would say usually when non-soccer players think about stamina, they think about like how long can they keep running, and it's not only how long can you keep running, but how fast can you keep running. You know, like what can you still keep the pace? Yeah.
That's true. Shirian playing it over.
Well, as my coach always said, heroes were never made in the 3rd minute.
Yeah.
You know?
Gotta let that fatigue set in. You're gonna have to overcome some things. Bengals keeping it in play, sending that one up. Delu got it stripped away, and Cougars just wanting to clear it out.
Oh, that wasn't a header. That was a facer.
Saw that arm extend. Bengals getting called for the foul. Cougars coming up to take the kick. We'll take a look at this one again.
Yeah, kind of
the
flailing elbow that makes contact. If that was on purpose, that would have been a yellow. If like you turn your elbow into a weapon and try to get back, that usually ends up as a yellow. But that was just kind of like a flailing arm.
Ball sent up into the box. Cougars tapping this one towards center. There was some contact. You hear the fans wanting to have heard a whistle. Do have a player down for the Bengals inside the box.
Right off the face.
Yeah, that can't feel good.
In the face.
Believe it's Marifi down. Didn't quite get to see before he's being tended to. And yup, confirmed. Kayla Marifi will get escorted off the field, but he is walking off.
Cougars number 10, Cal Babish, number 16, Lance Layton, number 35, Uru Bula. For the Bengals, number 12, Alex Clarine, number 13, Omar Adam, and number 20, Brian Woloki.
I like the little extra coaching on the sideline there. You're like, all right, this is what you do.
All back in play, and the Bengals looking to get to it, bringing it into their attacking half. A couple players on him, and the Cougars strip it away.
Yeah, a little pushing and shoving going on there. The rule book says you call a foul on excessive force. Of course, everybody thinks excessive is something different.
Trejo wanting to keep that one, of course, in the field. This one rolls out, and the Bengals.
You can't do too much good in the stands. That's a good boot.
It's always nice to spread the field out wide, toe that line, but again, of course, when it starts to work as another defender, if you're an attacker, as don't really have a lot of room for error bringing it up that close. Jack Moore pressuring.
Good hustle.
Helping his team get the ball back, and they do play him back. He gets the opportunity to have it at his feet. And they send it up inside the box. They'll call this back. Offsides on the Bengals. But again, you're going to have to push that envelope as we get later in this game. 18:40 remaining, and it's a tied game. You're going to have to do some of those things that you're pushing the envelope to try to make another one find the back of the net.
Good hustle, though. A lot of times takes a little digging deep to be able to bust out the 40-yard dash in the middle of the game. Yeah.
Moore sending it early. Doesn't have as much pace on it as we've seen some of his hits, and Berkey scooping it up.
Keeper had a pretty good read on that from the start.
Berkey sending up the long punt all the way up to the forward. Cougars doing a good job working this ball around, finding feet here on this possession. Of course, as I say that, Bengals able to get a
curse
foot
of the
on
announcer,
it.
yeah. They haven't made one mistake all day, and then they make 3 mistakes the second you say something.
Yeah. Moore taken down. Bengals will get the free kick.
All right, could you hear that? The ref was pointing to one player and giving him the old no more of that. That's kind of like a pre-yellow card, where you say, yeah, that's it from you, and if they do it again, then you get a yellow.
Sending the ball up, Alec Thoreen. Almost inside of the box, ball popped back as they try to bring it down to the ground. Bengals working on the top of the 18, shot fired and denied by the Cougars. And the Bengals, you know, you have to take the shot opportunities to possibly put one
corner
in harm's way. The opportunity here for the Bengals as they set up.
I like the all-out defense. The old put your entire body in front of the ball and hope that it hits part of you. You know, it hit him square in the back. But it's kind of what you're taught to do. Make yourself as big as possible and get in the way.
This is Zach Newby junior for the Bengals, taking the corner kick. He sends it in. Bengals weren't able to be first two. We saw the Cougars get ahead on it and knock it out. It's exactly what you want to do. You don't want the ball to bounce in the box. And we see the Bengals just recovering the ball. Sure, they may give it away to the Cougars, but it seems they get the ball back.
Oh, good ball.
So as we say it, the Cougars now in position. Bengal defense from Alec Thorian to stop the Cougar buildup into that final third. Cougars entering the box. Defense.
The old give me a penalty. He runs into him, falls over, and says, "I want a penalty." Yeah, not so much.
Not today. Done again.
Actually, as you can see, number 10 more there. His guy got it away from him really easily. I mean, look at how much room they had going down the sideline there. So, yeah, nothing in that. Good no call by the ref.
Ball booted forward. Verke having the time and space to really slow this one down, get his guys on the same page.
He seems to be playing that sweeper keeper role, but he also kind of doesn't seem to have that natural instinct on where the line is. Like, I could see him making a mistake, touching the ball outside of the box, which would be a big thing in a tied game going into the last 15 minutes.
Dunnigan coming outside of his box.
Ooh, dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous play. He does.
Yeah, well,
find his
played
teammate.
it back towards his goal when he's not there.
Yeah, typically, you'd probably see that one be played out wide. Even if there wasn't a player, you would have just played it out of bounds to get himself in position.
It's kind of like swinging at a 3-0 pitch. Your coach is going to yell at you for. All right, I'm glad you didn't get out, but don't do that.
Yep. Schweiger entering the game for the Bengals, as well as some more substitutions on the Cougars side as well.
Wind being a non-factor in the second half. Boy, it's really died down. And the flag's not moving at all.
Yeah, a lot different. Definitely can feel the still air almost now inside the press box compared to what we had before. Papers going everywhere. Cougars.
Actually, if you notice, the Centennial players had a lot of time on the ball. A lot of times, this is when communication is such a big thing, where you get guys on your team yelling turn and time and that kind of thing, like saying that you've got time to do this.
Dalou stepping, and the Cougars make their way past him.
Good through ball and good closing time there.
Yeah, we saw the defense come out, able to knock this one out, allow some time for his teammates to set up in this defensive set.
Well, that's actually a good play. I mean, just give your guys a chance to get back and reset.
Throw in coming from Garrett Anderson. Deep throw in, Bengals there, knocked around. The Cougars have it at their feet inside the box. Not a whole lot of room, but this one threaded back in front of the net, and the defender able to help out Dunnigan to get this one just out of bounds.
That's what makes soccer so great in these short games, where the ball just bounces around like a pinball right in front of the goal. Bing, 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 kick. Yeah, and knowing that one goal will make all the difference, they, depending on the stakes of the game, these are just simply heart-stopping.
Inside the box, Cougars stopped up right on the border there. Bengals fighting, trying to get possession back. Shot fired to the left side of the post, just barely.
Everything but the final product, you know. Good build-up, good attack. Just missed on the shot.
And that was Cal Babish, who scored the only goal now for the Cougars.
Good old number 10. That always seems to be the guy looking to score.
On both sides.
No matter what. It doesn't matter where. Could be in the Bolivian D League. Whoever's number 10 is the guy who's looking to score. Pele wore 10. Messi wore 10. I'm going to wear 10.
Bengals.
I would say Blaine would do really well here to hold the ball for about 3 or 4 minutes and get an attack going to ease the pressure on their defense, because Centennial really has been a force going forward.
Yeah, and you see it. 3 players coming in for the Cougars versus the Bengals.
Good
2
overlapping
players,
run.
So
Oh,
they'll have some more fresh legs in just a moment. But the Cougars looking to build. Bengals able to step through. DeLu taking it up this near side. He puts his head down on the race here up the sideline. Just about able to turn. And that was what he wanted to do either way. He got the corner kick.
well, no, I like how he recognized the old "I'm faster than you," pass it to myself. So if you're dead even with somebody and you know you can beat them in a sprint, all you do is kick it up the field. So then it's even playing field, and you know, so you both don't have the ball, and you go and you just beat them to the ball, which is exactly what he did. All right.
DeLu taking the corner kick for the Bengals again. All tied up, knotted at 1-1. He's going to try to help his team get the go-ahead goal.
Now,
Cracking in close to 10 minutes remaining,
if you look there,
10:26.
yeah, I could have told it was going to be short because there was only one guy in the end zone. Like 1 on 9 usually isn't favorable. But I would say that was probably about, they've had 4 corner kicks. I think 3 of them have been short.
Bengals get the ball back. Able to put another run on that back line for the Cougars. But Ryan Bowman pass didn't quite get to his teammate, and this one touched out of bounds.
As we hit the 10-minute mark.
Sliding in.
That wasn't a slide. That was a falling
Yeah,
in.
falling in.
He just, you know, where your posterior hits the pavement, your legs just kind of follow.
It worked out.
Yeah, well, I count it. It looks good on paper. Now, Blythe, I want to know what you feel about times like this when there's like 10 minutes to go and you're attacking and you're an attacker and you really want to get one home. I mean, how does this feel like when you're an attacker? Because as a keeper, all I'm feeling like, let's just hold them up 9 minutes. Just keep them out of the goal. I don't care how many shots they get.
Yeah, as an attacker, you're trying to, I would say, just keep possession. How do you wear down that defense to allow you to get something open? Because oftentimes teams, I mean, you do try to rush it sometimes, but what does it look like? For me personally as a player, I always wanted my teammates to send it up to the corner so I could run it down that end line and cross it in. But obviously teams have different strengths. In this game here today, I would say what the Bengals, if they're trying to go ahead, they're going to need to hold that possession. They've done really well finding each other's feet throughout this game and just wear down that defense to find the openings.
Yeah, I knew guys who were like, all I need is an inch of space. That's all I need. Get it to me. All right. Here you go.
But it takes a team to commit to that, because oftentimes if you just have a few players who really want that to happen, it's not going to work. You need all the players on the same page. How can you pick up that level of intensity? And like you said, it doesn't need to be the whole time. Just those moments. If everyone's on the same page, something can happen easily in soccer.
Nice. Worked around him.
Ball sent in through the box. Cougar just about on the end of it, but the Bengals come away, sending this one out the sideline. Cougars will get another chance.
Well, that was important that he didn't concede the corner. It was a throw-in, which is significantly less threatening.
As the Cougars just about enter the box, shot fired over the crossbar. They had another player back to send it in.
I guarantee you he's going to want that one back.
Yes, wanted to.
Because he had a good look at it, and just sending it over the bar.
Yeah, Dockendorf.
See, like it just comes right out to him and just, oh!
That
A
first
little more hook
shot
on
was
it.
fired by Babish, who scored earlier today for the Cougars.
Ooh, a little bit rough on the first touch there. Leading to a turnover, but they get it right back.
Bengals stepping through, finding his way to get a foot on it and keep it in play was Schweiger. Working his way up the field. Bowman
Really nice triangular passing there.
able to find Moore, who was composed, had the time trying to feed up his teammate. But again, the Cougar defense able to be there. Tap it out of bounds. Bengals have the opportunity to send this one, trying to get it inside the box. Again, Verke hasn't seen too many shots on net here in the last little bit of time.
I actually love the way Blaine set up there. They had 3 guys, and it was, you know, you work on that in practice all the time, triangular passing, where you kind of open up the passing lanes by moving back and forth and playing just like a little game of keep away in a 5-yard box.
The bees
Kind
have
of
found
like
us in the
Blythe is
press
trying to play
box.
keep away from this bee that's hovering around her head there.
Must have been all the popping candy I had.
Yeah, the
before
hot
the
tamales. There you go.
game. They're coming for me. Bengals trying to lock it in. Gets the ball sent up. Doesn't connect with his teammate. The Cougars now have stepped in.
Good turn.
Exactly, to be able to try to square up towards where you're going. Again, we talked about the vision of what that does when he's able to do that. But stripped away, Bengals wanting to come on the attack, and offsides will be called.
Offsides is such a... It's like letting the air out of a balloon. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah, especially.
All right, let's walk the other way now.
Yeah, exactly. That was the worst, being a forward up top, and you just were obviously, to get in that position, sometimes you're running as fast as you can, and then you just end up a hair too far forward when before the ball's sent, and like I said, deflating.
Competitively, I was a keeper, but I used to play rec soccer, and I played some forward, and you'd see, you know, the offside flag up. I'd like the rep on who? He goes, you. What? That's even more depressing when you're onside, and then the guy, the defender, takes a step forward, and then you're off. It's like, oh, jeez.
Dunnigan comes out, scoops it up.
4 minutes to make something happen here.
Both of these goals coming in the second half.
Ooh. We might have a difference of opinion on this one, because it looked like a hard tackle, but he didn't hit anything.
Bengals.
Actually, you can kind of see the other play going, yeah, I know, you didn't get me. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, his back foot kind of came up and tripped him a bit.
Berkey sending it up the field long.
Now, what I was telling you a little bit more about time on the ball, it kind of goes down at this stage of the game because people can see the finish line. 3 minutes to go. They get that second or third win and be like, I got 3 minutes.
Give it everything, especially in a tied game like this. You're going to see both sides.
And you don't have another game for a week, and you're like, come on, let's go. I don't care if your body's telling you to stop. Have your mind overrule and say, go, go, go. Ooh, we might see a card here. We might. Oh, he was thinking about it.
And actually for the Cougars.
Here we go. Hold on. He reached into his pocket there. I think he called the foul, and then when he argued about it, he was thinking about giving him the yellow. Right? Oh, yeah, that was just a body check.
Ball into the box.
Usually you see that kind of played in the third period, not the second half.
Yeah. The Cougars' next game will be on Monday at Centennial. They'll take on Forest Lake.
The Lakers.
And the Bengals, their next game on Tuesday versus Andover. Both evening games, of course. Bengals at 5 and the Cougars, theirs will be at 7.
Oh, is he off? Yep, just barely. And we will have the audience voicing their opinion on that call.
The player called it first, though.
Oh.
You see that? He's like raising his hand as like they
the
always do.
The 200 amateur refs in these stands today will be happy to tell you what they think. That's one thing about soccer. Refereeing is such a hard job. It's so subjective. You know, what you think is too much. I mean, like, sometimes the difference between a yellow and the red is intent. Do you think he did it on purpose?
Alec Thurine was the one who just sent that in the box for the Bengals. As time becomes a factor, under a minute to play, both these teams, as you said, gonna give it everything they have. They see that finish line. They want to be able to end this one.
Some people like to wait till the last minute. Well, this is it. This is the last minute.
Now is their time to shine.
Not to mention, I think it's kind of intimidating having the clock that counts down. Collision.
Inside the box and able to find
gonna
the
count
back
that?
of the net. Jack Moore does it again.
Oh, my. And we have anger coming from the Centennial side.
With 32 seconds on the clock.
Let's have a look at that again. There's no instant replay in high school soccer. I mean, we have it, but so he plays the ball in. We have a header. Collision. That's the only thing I could think of. If they were complaining that the attacker ran into the keeper on purpose and was not playing the ball as a distraction. That's like the only foul you could call. Everything else looked clean to me. Blythe, your thoughts?
Yeah, we talk about also how much that hurts with just 30 seconds or so
on
the clock
deflating,
to go down by a goal. But these Cougars gonna have to really pick up the pace, try to get this one down to at least have a shot.
This is route one time. You just give it the boot from about there.
You do have a little bit of time to try to build, find feet, get up the field. But like you said, they tried to just get it up there.
But the keeper is still so annoyed about the call. He doesn't. Yeah, I don't blame him. Like, if you feel like you were interfered with, that's a very frustrating thing because you don't think it's your fault.
Yeah, we have
right?
to see that again.
But he was going for the ball. Yeah, I don't call that either. You know, it looks like a jumbled mess of bodies on the first shot, but I think that's a good no call for the great job by the referees today.
And the clock expires. The Bengals getting the victory with just 32 seconds remaining. They go up to this 2-1 score.
And the rare comeback win in soccer, right? They're down 1-0, scoring the last two.
Yeah, exactly. And Jack Moore being the finisher of both of those goals after coming back from his ACL surgery. Coach Aerosmith, as I noted prior to the game, was just thrilled to have him back, and he's proved that he was missed. That's
living
for
on
sure.
the edge, right? Coach Aerosmith there.
But what a game for the first one of the season for both of these teams to get out there, finish it out, and we saw some good things we liked from both of them. They seemed to pull their weight on having a few build-ups, some attacks on both sides. Don't you think so, Tim?
Yeah. As you can see, still see some complaining going on. I definitely do not condone that. But no, we had the back and forth of momentum, definitely. We had the Blaine coming out strong, then Centennial owning the last part of the first half and the first part of the second half. And then, as you saw, tired legs. You know, the game kind of developed in a different way at the end, but it was a very hard-fought battle between both sides. So hats off to both of them. It's still the first game of the year. I know Centennial's probably got to be disappointed giving that one up, but they're a great side, and they've got a lot of good times in front of them.
Yeah, Cougars' chance again. Their next time to try to get a win would be their home game on Monday, and the Bengals having that game coming on a Tuesday and also at home. But you guys, we thank you so much for being with us on our doubleheader coverage of soccer. We'd love if you stayed tuned for our next game on deck. The women will take the field again in this Cat Clash. Will be coming up at 3 o'clock. But on behalf of my North Metro team and my co-pilot over here, Tim Singleton, I'm Blythe Whaley, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. If you're not joining us here in just a bit.
And we will see you next time.
Almost 10 minutes into the second half, try and give the Cougars the first lead of this game. And she will. Cougars in front first, and it's Kaya Harper at least one more time. Straighting, all alone and onside. Straighting, shoots, and may have just kept it for the Cougars. Section champs for a second straight year, 2-0 over the Blaine Bengals. Their second place, their runner-up trophy. And there's the Cougars, the jump of joy as they'll finish on top with a win here in 2020.
Back with you here at Bengals Stadium for our second game in doubleheader soccer coverage on North Metro TV. I'm Blythe Whaley alongside Tim Singleton, and we just had the boys matchup in soccer, and for them, the Bengals came away with the victory, 2-1 over the Cougars. The ladies now have their chance to show what they can do, and both of these teams, they had that first game able to play on Thursday. The Bengals getting 4-0 victory over Armstrong, and the Cougars had their game playing, and they won it 4-1. And both of these teams, they have both got the chance to have 4 goals on the board, but of course the Cougars gave up a goal, so they'll have to see if what that looks like to not have some of those struggles maybe on, or those breakdowns I would say, on defense and complete a full 80 minutes without allowing one tonight.
Yeah, I think in soccer all the time you hear about big matchups between teams. You know, in Spain it's Barcelona and Real Madrid. In Germany it's Bayern Munich and you have Dortmund. You know, and they're often referred to as the Classico 7AA. In girls soccer, this is it, right? You got the 2 best teams in the section year after year after year. You know, of course, with seniors graduating and such and different than that, but there's no reason to believe that these teams won't be 1 and 2 again this year. So it's a big game, not only in the standings, but both teams are really going to want it. You know, so you're going to see full effort. So I'm really looking forward to a good game here today.
Yeah, on both sides of the ball, number 10 has been a talking point. Lauren Allis coming away with a couple goals in their first matchup. Kendall Staden on the other side also having a goal in their opener, and as well as 3 assists. So she has proved herself time and time again. Last year having 25 goals on the season. Doesn't look too shabby either.
No, especially somebody not afraid to use that to make assists, right? So you have somebody who scores a lot of goal, you bring your foot back to kick, everybody's going to try to get in front of you, right? And then you play it off to a friend, and unselfish team usually scores a lot of goals. So that's definitely something as a coach you love to see.
And Staden only having 5 assists on the year last year, already having 3. It looks very good for her. And on the flip side, as we talked about Allis for Centennial, she had 7 goals and 13 assists. And so now having 2 goals already on the board for her after only having 7 last year also puts herself in that trajectory to possibly have a better year in that column.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had a lot of time in the offseason. I mean, soccer's got a very long offseason going all summer, especially, I mean, you saw the replay there in the snow. I mean, it seems like forever since we've had snow. So long time to go over and replay things in your head, what you could have done differently, especially when you lose. So, I mean, Blaine is going to really want to come out and play strong today.
And we are underway, first seconds out there on the field. Centennial with it now as they work their way, going from the right side of your screen to the left. Shot fired, and the keep having to make a save.
In the first 30 seconds, what was that, 26 seconds in, we got our first shot. Not bad. Well done, Centennial.
Yeah, and that goalkeeper for the Bengals, Tess Enlow, senior, wanting to have the senior year that she hopes to, coming away with some good games and off to a good start, getting in position early. Lauren Allis, as we talked about in the opener, they're working through the middle of the field. Again, a very good distributor. We saw her have a lot of good balls finding the runner on the weak side in that game opener for them. But in the middle of the field, Boardson with speed, taking on a defender.
I see the attackers on the far side trying to stay on side, and she just keeps it herself. That's so frustrating.
Definitely frustrating,
And
I'm
to
sure.
stay on side, and then it's all for naught.
Ball ticked out of bounds, and we will have a corner kick coming for the Cougars. We already saw the shot on goal for them. Now getting the corner, they're showing what a force they can be here in this attack.
You know, it kind of reminds me of the, you know, the old Wall Street motto when the bell rings, and they're off and running, you know, like a horse race that day. I mean, these girls really came to play. I mean, 2 minutes in, they're already showing that they're on the front foot.
Lauren Allis to put it in play. Sent it in the box. Bengals there first. Cougars there to try to put it back. This one rolling out of bounds. Bengal ball.
Yeah, not a bad corner. A low cross right around the neck to chin area of most of the girls. Blaine was able to step up and get a body on it and get it out.
Another thing to note is this Centennial Cougars team has a different coach this year. Krista Carlson stepping in after Ginger Flohog had been the coach for 20 years prior. So having that transition for them, and of course the transition of not having the scoring force of Kaya Harper, helping them move the ball up the field and find the back of the net.
I love the tenacity here. The as you could see there, number 14 Olivia Peterson for Blaine. That was a dead sprint to get the ball. I mean, like I know we're only a few minutes in, but there is no phoning it in here. I mean, that get to the ball first and make something happen.
Working through the midfield, Allis defended tight, but she was able to turn, sends this ball forward again, getting that ball off,
Flag
finding the
stays
weak
down.
side. Cross and a goal! This one finding the back of the net early for the Cougars. Malia Bilby was the target, and she puts it away to help Centennial now. 1-0 lead, and we're not that far into it today.
Yeah, no, another great cross. I mean, that looks similar to the corner. I mean, comes in probably about chest high and just get a body on it and put it in the net. Right, great through ball here. Right, stays onside. Right, down the left-hand side. Puts it right about chest, yeah, and in it goes. She could have walked that thing in. Nice job.
Sarah Strading having a goal and an assist in the opener. Now having an assist already on the board today.
And that's a great feeling to have your hard work pay off in the first parts of the game. You just have to worry, all right, long way to go. Don't get complacent. Don't let them have anything easy, right?
Yeah, we saw how Strading, her play helped them win last year's section championship game versus this team. And now today, having another good turnout. Sometimes for me as a player, when I was playing a team that I'd already played before, even if, of course, different years, different teams, but still in your head, you're like, hey, I had a good game when I played them. I'm going to play great today.
But you recognize people. If you're an attacker and you see a defender, I remember her.
Yeah.
Right? I remember 11.
Yeah.
She gave me that elbow. I remember her. Right?
Exactly. No, I completely agree. Ball out of bounds on the far side. Bengals going to chase it down. This is Maya Anderson, set to throw this one back in play. Sends it up and over everyone. Cougars going to have to chase it. They have some time, some space to make that happen.
Excellent job playing a little bit of keep away there, getting the ball to midfield. What we saw is basically the equivalent of a full court press. And them Centennial doing a great job to deal with the pressure.
Yeah, Allis defended tough there by the Cougars in the middle of the field. And I think she made a good decision poking that one out of bounds to allow her team to help her out and not send them on a breakaway. Fordson going to work. More tough defense, plays it off to that support pass. Cougars switching the field.
Some physical play here to start off. I mean, you can tell that these, uh-oh, here we go.
Breakaway as they start to gain some speed. Jordan Pascarella, shot fired, and the keeper able to come out and make the save. That's Jordan Metz for the Cougars, having to lay out and get it done.
The soccer equivalent of a kick save and a beauty, right? A great save.
Jordan Pascarella having 2 goals in the opener for her team.
Watch this, great through. It's 2-on-1. There's not much the defender can do. And then just cutting down the angle, making herself as big as possible, getting her hands out, putting her hand in nice, perfect textbook goalkeeping.
Very tough for Jordan Pascarella, wanting to probably keep that one on the ground.
And we're going the other way.
Save. But the Cougars into the box, gonna try to get around the keeper, and she does. This one dribbles in as the Cougars put themselves in good positioning. 2-0 our score now. And this one is looking like it's gonna go the Cougars' way. Things are working for them.
When a ball trickles across the goal line at about a half a mile an hour and somebody's running after it, some days the sun is shining.
We believe it was Addison Van Zee with the goal, and she had a goal in the opener as well. So this season, we're seeing that hard work pay off in the offseason.
And she's all alone from the 15 on in. Got just enough on it to get it past the keeper and have, maybe the defender could have busted another slide tackle there, but not much you can do.
But this can change the trajectory of this game. How the Cougars are able to play, how much more relaxed they can play now, having this 2-goal lead early in the first half. Van Zee playing it over to Allis. Allis streaking up the middle of the field, touched by the Bengals as they recover and bring it to that far outside line.
Now, there aren't really timeouts in soccer, but if there was, here would be a good time to say, look, it's only 2 goals, right? All we need to do is get 1 back before the half, and we'll be fine. But we have to stop those easy goals. Can't be anything easy.
Allie Hamsky helping play this up to Strading, keeping it in play, barely.
Great footwork.
Finding Bordson, top of the 18-yard box. She sends it in. Arcing ball. It had some bend to it. Almost bending it like Beckham, but this one sails out on the right side of the net.
Not to
Bend it
mention
like Bordson, I guess. She wanted to make that her
bend
own.
it like Bordson. Also, I mean, a two-goal lead in soccer is actually quite dangerous because you can be dominating, and if they get one goal on a counterattack, they're right back in. All right, so it's important, especially against a division rival where you really need the win. Just, you know, you don't show a whole lot of mercy. You're like, let's get this game over with by the end of the first half.
Yeah, and it's tough if you're the Bengals. You lost by 2 in that section championship last year. Now already sitting down by 2, not wanting to make that any bigger of a deficit. But you have time. That's what's working for you. You do have this whole first half, and you have the second half still ahead of you to try to get these goals back. Sarah Strading trying to cut through the middle of the field.
Not to mention, I mean, there's also the mental aspect of it going forward. I mean, Blaine could beat everybody else in the section 5-0, but they always know in the back of their mind they're always going to run into Centennial if they want to go to the state tournament, right? And they're going to remember this first 5 minutes going down 2-0, right? So you really have to, there can be a lot said for putting forward a great showing here at the end of the first half and at the end of the first game going forward, thinking big picture.
Hamsky helps send it up to the far side. Use their support pass, playing it all the way to the back line. Hollis again, finding the support. Bordson sends it over to Cubes, excuse me, and
Good
this one out of bounds, and the Bengals get to have a throw to send it up into their attacking half. Olivia Peterson taking this throw.
She's fast, Olivia.
Pascarella got herself in good positioning to make a run up this line. Touch got ahead of her, and Bordson collecting. Bordson coming back, helping keep possession, doesn't find the ball past the Bengals. And Staden wanting to get inside the box. She fired, denied on the first one.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, when a player raises their hand, that's similar to a basketball player saying, I got one, like I got a foul, like I saw somebody use their hands, or come on, that was a foul, ref. It's kind of like an international symbol.
Like, hey, give it to me. But Staden.
What, you didn't see that?
Yeah. Staden will be going to the U of M. She just committed here recently.
Exciting.
Ball sent in, and Jordan Metz able to get in position, keeping that clean slate for today.
Yeah, the clean sheet must stand. Can't say I've ever seen a keeper wear number 52. She must be playing with the full deck, I guess. But so far, so good.
Yeah, it's working for her.
Lucky 52, right? Maybe she likes poker.
We'll have to ask. But these ladies continuing
Nice
to work
turn.
hard on the field. Allis finding some space to run.
Oh, she should have let that one go through.
Van Zee having a tough time turning. Bengals coming away, and Pascarella working to get around one defender. Wanting to send it up to Staden. Not quite able to connect. Cougars back with it. Bordson had the tough defense right there on her back, which helped the Bengals get the ball back here as they look to switch. Back and forth action, Bengals back with it. Collision there, of course, referee blows his whistle
Just kind of
immediately.
fall on each other. I'm just thinking of the mental, part of this where, you're Blaine, they knocked you out, you really want to get back at them, and before you know it, you're down 2-0. So how do you approach this?
Ball sent in. Metz.
Third good save in probably the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, dropping to her knees, collects it. Looks effortless for how well she's just there to make the scoop, but straighting on the near side. 2 against her. And Pascarella finds a way to knock it off her and try to get it in play quickly. They will call it back. It didn't quite get off of a Cougar. Okay. So they will get the throw in here, straighting.
A little nutmeg, that's always good for the resume.
Ball sent up. Van Zee
Just a race to the ball.
having the goal moments before with just that trickle in off to another streaking breakaway. The Bengals recover. Bordson in the middle of the field going to work.
As somebody who loves soccer and watches the World Cup with people who don't know soccer at all, one thing I can tell you is that one thing that people underestimate is how important speed is. You know, not only with the ball, but without the ball, because sometimes when they kick it into space, it's just straight up a race to the ball. And that's what it was. And both women did a great job of tracking it down.
Straighting.
Oh, nice
Just
job by the
about.
keeper.
Tess Enlow making the decision she needed to back there, coming out, stopping Straighting from having the angle against her.
Yes, yeah, I mean, we went over this in the men's game, but they, you really only have about a half a second, like when the ball's right there. Like, do I come out or do I stay home?
Handsy to Bordson. Bordson shot fired, and Bordson finds the back of the net. The Cougars up 3-0. Bordson, I could tell she had the eye on it, wanting to be able to make the strike she just did. But Bordson, her first goal of the season.
A quarter hour in and 3 goals. As you can see, the frustrated kick by the goalkeeper there.
Takes a couple touches, gets around the defender.
Nice shot.
And crosses that ball back from where she just came from.
Yes. So, some of these good players, all they need is, you know, an inch or two of space to get open and to be able to control the ball where they want it to go, and that's exactly what happened. Just a step and a curve, and in it goes.
Well, the decision to play that ball back to the left side, the keeper, I'm sure, as you would probably mention, like, as she's running to, you know, stay with her as she's crossing the net, it's tough to go back where you just came from.
Yeah.
To dive back, you're more easily going to dive that way, I guess.
That's even frustrating as a defender. You know, it's almost like in basketball where you're right on the guy and you have your hand in their face and they still sink a 3 on you. You know, that's kind of what it feels like.
Bengals inside the box, touched away. Staden working against the Cougars, lines up her teammate. This one off the mark. Referee's gonna call the offsides. Let's take a look at this goal here from the Cougars. Bordson, again, that space, touch, and a shot back to that left side.
I mean,
What
if
a
you saw
beauty.
it, the defender was on the 19-yard line and she was on the 20.
Yeah.
I mean, she did not need much space to put that exactly where she wanted it.
Bordson collecting, having some space to try to line that one up, denied.
Here's the old talking to. What I like to refer to as a pre-yellow card. It's funny, in the Irish sport of Gaelic football, what they'll do is they'll show you their book. They won't give you a card, but they'll show you your book. It's basically the same thing, like, any more nonsense out of you, and you will be seeing this right here, the yellow card.
Cougars wanting to line up that attacker on the far side. Bordson breaking some ankles there in the middle of the field, working around a few defenders. Staden creating some space. He's going to keep possession, playing it all the way back to the defense. Under her foot it goes. That happens sometimes. Some of those things that that seem like second nature after you've been playing it forever and you know how good of a player she is. Just some games can slip just right under the cleats.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, definitely, when it does happen. So you're like, what? I've done this a million times. I've lifted my foot.
No, it's like playing tennis and you swing and you miss. And you're like, I got a hole in my racket.
Yeah,
like,
what happened?
What happened? I was looking at it, swung at it. What happened?
Cougars, pressured, come away with it, still in possession. Some time. Could have maybe took another second. She had some time to get that one off.
Looks like we got some substitutes coming in here.
Elizabeth Sipe for the Cougars, as well as Madeline Skalicki. Carly Anderson for the Bengals entered the game as well. Some fresh legs. We talked about that in the guys game, what that looks like to have some players playing against players that maybe are starting to have that fatigue set in. We're just about 20 minutes in, not quite. 21-35 remains in the first half.
And also, higher level soccer, such as professional soccer, it's a little bit different where once you're out of the game, you're out of the game. That's not the case in high school soccer. You're able to sub in and out. Whereas professional soccer is much more like Major League Baseball. Once the pitcher is out, he's done for the day.
Yeah, college like that too, I remember.
Yeah.
Frustrating for some players if they didn't want to quite go out yet. Like, wait, coach, I can't go back in for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you see your big number
time
on the board and you're like, your heart just sinks. But, you know, it makes substituting for the coach a lot harder. But in this case, right, it rather than positions, you know, taking out an attacker, putting in a defender, a lot of it has to do with just stamina. Like who's feeling tired, who needs a breather, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Bengals with time in the middle of the field. Hit it right into the Cougar.
I love that. You just make yourself big and don't let them pass you.
Sometimes it's kind of like the mailbox when you're on a bike. Don't hit the mailbox, don't hit the mailbox, and you go right for it. It's like she had so much space, but it hit the defender.
Yeah. You have 180 degrees, and only 10 of those degrees hit somebody, and hit him right on the numbers.
Olivia Peterson defending.
It's kind of like golf. What I find so frustrating is you know what you need to do. You know what it looks like. You've done it before, and you just can't do it.
Yeah. McKenna Monson throwing it in. Switching the field to the other side. Helps spread out the defense as the Cougars coming up through the middle. Allis streaking through everybody, sends it across and wide of the net.
You may have remembered, Blythe, a few years ago that the women's national team beat, I think it was Thailand, 13-0 in the Women's World Cup, and they caught a lot of flack about, you know, pouring it on. But in reality, when you're playing at that competitive of a level, you really can't, you know, turn it off. I mean, because then you're risking becoming stagnant and giving it back and losing the game, which would be ridiculous after winning that much. So I would say at this level, I would, as a coach, I would attack until the game was firmly in hand. That's the people have come back from 3 goals before. I would say keep the pressure on.
Yeah, I agree. I remember some of my coaches telling us different ways of now you have to only score on a cross, or you can only do, like, they make different things. Yeah, they make different things to try to still keep you having that up tempo. You're not changing the speed of your play, but yeah, now you have to maybe maneuver different ways.
Well, I've played recreational soccer where we've won or lost, like, I kid you not, 20-0.
Oh my goodness.
And that's not fun for anybody.
Yeah.
I don't care which side you're on. I mean, like, I've been on a side where we were up 28-0 or something. I'm like, guys, would you stop scoring? Like, how about this? How about you try to hit the post? You know, like.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, these guys are never going to want to play again if you keep scoring. But when you're at this, when you're playing for a state title, and the game is still in hand, you know, like you're still playing for it, you want to put it away.
Cougars trying to work their way through the box, but denied.
That looked like it could have been a handball. Not sure.
It's Marissa Frost on the near side. She's been going to work. Van Zee not quite getting the handle on it.
I think, Blythe, you probably have a better idea of what you think between two competitive women's teams would be insurmountable, so to speak. I would probably say, as a coach, I would say about 5.
For goals.
For goals, like
if they're coming back.
Yeah,
or
like
not,
impossible to come back almost.
Yeah, I would.
Or
for sure.
less than 1%, we'll say.
Yeah, that it's very unlikely. Yeah, I feel like when you're still, like you said, when you're still in this range 3-0, you know, if you can start to get moving, you get a goal on the board, that momentum, a lot of things can happen with that momentum change, especially if you still see teams able to, like the Bengals, they've been able to build it up. They've been able to send it in towards Jordan Metz.
I mean, because the skill level of these teams is not very different. I mean, it's if you were significantly better than another team, I could see that. But I mean, you look at other sports like American football, where a 21-0 or a 21-3, right, where all it takes is an interception return for a touchdown, and all of a sudden you have a game.
Yeah, we got to take a look at some of these goal scorers for the Bengals. Kendall Stadden, like I said earlier, having 25 goals last year. I mean, she's ready to find the back of the net.
That's nothing to sneeze at. That is a lot of goals.
And Jordan Pascarella, she would have had quite a few of her own, except, like I said, tearing her ACL and now coming back from that this year. And she is another one of those players that she found the back of the net twice already this season in that opener. And now just having limited minutes, just as she's coming back. It's recent. Coach said she's not going to be playing the whole game by any means.
Ooh.
Crossbar.
The Cody Parkey, right off the crossbar.
Did it hit the crossbar? Did it hit the
No, it hit the yellow.
field goal?
It hit the crossbar.
Yeah,
Cody Parkey, the Bears kicker who hits the crossbar.
Yeah.
You probably know better than I do. I've only had severe, like hamstring tears or calf tears. But if you tear your ACL, it's probably like coming off of a spilling your motorcycle, where the first turn you take, you're not gonna cut the corner. You're just gonna go like a bicycle. Okay.
Like, can I do this? Like, you're testing the waters.
All right.
You're like, yeah, we gotta go
I
through.
just don't want to tear anything.
Yeah. Luckily for myself, I didn't tear it on my, because a lot of people tear their ACL where they weren't doing nothing. They're just running down the field, and all of a sudden they stepped, and
they were cutting one way or the other, and
yeah. Ball sent in, but Bengals getting on it. But yeah, no, I tore mine with some contact. A lot of factors had to happen for it to happen, for it to
a lot of
tear.
Perfectly unlucky things had happened.
Yeah, exactly. Probably the worst field conditions. It was a summer league game for that one.
Known to woman.
Yeah.
Or
like,
man.
No one should have been playing on that field. They were surprised the game didn't get canceled because of the fact.
Like Pele's first game in New York.
Yeah.
They said, "I'm never. You're paying me $5 million a year, but I'm never playing on this field again." That's what he said in the shower.
Marissa trying to play up this near side. Marissa Frost looking to send down Van Zee. She didn't quite get the memo right away early enough, but she got it back.
Nice save. I think also an unsung hero of this first half would have to be Jordan Metz, because they, when they were only up 1-0, she stopped it heads up. I mean, it's only one goal, but I mean, mentality-wise, that changes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's deflating for an offense.
Yeah. Bordson returning for Aulis.
I mean, a few years ago, Germany played England, and this was before instant replay, where they had a goal that didn't count. The game ended 4-2, and they're like, it wouldn't have mattered. But, well, yes, it does. You change your formation, you change your mentality, and everything when you score a goal.
Bengals running through this, trying to keep it in. Will bounce out on the near side. And the Cougars Addison Wittenberg.
Goal scorer, right?
Yep, Van Zee takes a step out, and Strading will return this time on that far side of the field up top. Helping, coming on over, was Isabel Sipe. Playing up Strading. Strading didn't quite see which way that ball was going to come through. Sometimes you have to keep running without knowing exactly where it's going. Because if she would have kept going, she would have probably had it. But you have to try to kind of look.
Well, I think at every point in soccer, you kind of have to ask yourself, am I going to go all out for this? And by all out means you're like risking injury.
Yeah.
Right? Say, how hard do I want to go into this tackle? Right?
That's very
and
true.
when you're up 3-0, sometimes it's like, I'll wait for next time.
Yeah, I know. It's when you think about the long run. I want to be in for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Just looking at the weather report here, it looks like it's 82 degrees. One thing I can tell you about playing on a field like this with the ground up tire, it's always hotter.
Yeah, that turf
at
field.
air level, like 15, 20 degrees. I mean, so it feels like 100 when you're down there because the black sucks in the heat, and it really feels difficult, especially on turf like this. And we have a 40% chance of showers, as long as you were wondering.
Yeah, these ladies both played on that Thursday when it started to rain for the late game. They got theirs in early today. The boys were first, so they got their game in for sure. The ladies looking to get their entire game in as well. And that's something that's kind of in the back of your head. You want to make sure you're in good position, like the Cougars have put themselves in, to whatever happens. As we get further in this one, they could call it as it's the rest of the game. It's 11 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock.
Not to mention let's say you have a torrential downpour and maintaining possession becomes really, really hard. Where it's tough for let's say it's 2 to 3 times harder for either team to score, then there's, a 3-goal advantage seems like a 9-goal advantage almost. Not to mention you got to be thinking about bragging rights. If they took the same bus here as the boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we won.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the problem? Yeah, the old Florida State way of thinking, where the baseball team wins the national championship, the football team wins the national championship, and the basketball team doesn't even finish in the top 5 in their conference.
Ball sent in. A couple Cougars were able to get on it, but the Bengals get it out of danger when it mattered most.
Ooh. Still out there fighting for the ball. I like it.
Now referees allowed them to play. Staden trying to turn. And that's what we've seen the Cougars doing a good job throughout this game, using that support pass to keep possession. And that's exactly what Krista Carlson, coach of the Cougars, told me. That's their best strength, is just their ability to keep possession, continue to wear down teams by having that possession throughout a lot of the game.
Yeah, keeping possession is huge because the odds go significantly down of scoring if you don't have possession.
Yeah, it's very tough if you only have just a couple minutes throughout that 80-minute game.
Today's game sponsored by Captain Obvious.
Right, yeah, exactly. Kendall Staden will take this throw-in. Pascarella returning. Again, she had the 2 goals in the opener.
By the way, while we have a break, did you know that Minnesota is getting a USL women's team next year? So we're getting I believe they're called pre-professionals. So pre-professional, so it's the 2nd division of women's soccer we are getting here in Minnesota next year. I'm pretty excited about that. Women's soccer, of course, a huge thing in America, having 3 world titles to 0 on the men's side. And
stats don't lie.
not even qualifying for the last World Cup, but that's neither here nor there.
Able to cut through the middle. Cougars just about making
She
it
still had
their way
possession of
towards
that,
net.
going through 3 defenders. It's
Yeah.
quite amazing.
Yeah, Isabel Sipe definitely having an impact here. Just a freshman for this Cougar squad. And that is something now. This is their 2nd game of the season. Again, the first couple games here with their new coach. And that means everything when you have a coaching change. What is that coach going to see from you in these first couple games to prove your playing time? Because she wasn't here last season. Whatever you did last year, it's not completely going to rule out what she decides to do as far as who's playing what time on the field.
Well, I'd say what the biggest thing for me when I was playing was, did you have to earn your spot? I mean, so like take for instance, you have a senior who's in there, and like, do you have to work hard every game to keep playing? Will they bench a senior, right? And so a lot of times the work rate on the field is directly related to how a coaches will coach. But I would say so far so good.
Ball drips through and defense able to recover. As you saw, Cubes step up. But that's how the back line works. You have that communication. You work together so well over the years. And as you see your defender do that, you see a lot of those plays happen because that defender knows you so well. Okay, you're going to step. I'm going to just retreat, hang back to allow. If that does go through, I'm right here for it.
Actually, that level of communication with camaraderie is actually just fantastic. It almost feels like telepathy at some point.
Yeah.
Where you just kind of look at each other and like
you're going. I'm not.
Yeah,
We're not talking, but you know.
Yeah.
You know what's up. Open goal for the Cougars, but not able to get it off. That was Isabel Sipe.
One thing I love about soccer is especially being a language teacher, you could have 22 different people from 22 different countries speaking 22 different languages, and they can communicate with each other on a soccer field. hey. Yeah, like, you just can't. Yeah. Soccer is almost like math. It's a language of its own.
Yeah, after college, I played on just a pickup league, and it was funny because there was people from all different countries that would play, and it was exactly like that. Some people didn't speak.
No, they do this
very well.
They do this hand motion like,
yeah,
I'm free this way. You know, the hand motion like this, like that means go that way. Yeah, you know, some guy from Ghana who only speaks French, and if you pass it too far for him, he swears at you.
Yeah. And
you don't understand a word of French, but you know exactly what it's saying.
Like, uh-oh, this isn't good. Fortson getting a handle on it. Beautiful ball up to Strating. Strating gets it through the box, but just out of the reach.
Nutmegged her defender in the process.
That always feels good.
Yeah.
Throwing for the Cougars.
Actually, that's happened to me more times. It's just annoying. It's funny, in German they refer to that as getting tunneled. Yeah, like, ugh.
Addison Wittenberg
passes it to the bench, all right?
Yeah, she was looking, and the intended person was, I'm sure.
You get a lot more leeway
Marissa
when you're
Frost.
up 3-0 and you've scored a few.
Yeah, true. Coach doesn't have to say anything. She's like, you know.
Yeah. I know that look too when the coach, come on. Like, really?
Again, Addison Wittenberg actually gives it up this time. Cubes sends it up to Boardson. A couple players immediately on her back.
The old let them know you're there defense. My coach was so big on.
Right there. Gonna sandwich you until we get the ball back.
Kind of like a dance with those guys at the night at the Roxbury. You know, they just pinball you. What the?
Wait a second. Where'd you come from?
Nice defense.
Pascarella gets a touch, but stopped up.
Nice one-touch pass there.
Good defense. Able to collect, get it back. Cougars stay composed and Strating off to the races on the far side, having some space, some time to get this cross off, sending it up and over. But the Bengals were in position to handle that. Cougars come away with possession, though. They're going to keep this ball in their attacking half. We talked about how much that wears down defenders to have to keep it in their end, and the Cougars going to have another build, straighting, laying this one off. Bordson, top of the 18-yard box, crossbar off the fingertips, and now into the back of the goal. This is Marissa Frost finding the back of the net to make this one 4-0 Cougars.
No, hats off to Centennial for keeping the foot on the gas, as we like to say, because I really don't think that the level of talent is that different here. I would be willing to bet that you know, if on another day, you know, this could go the other way. So I don't blame them for continuing to score. I mean, with a scorer that can put 25 on the board in the season.
Yeah, and left foot there for Frost. She finds the back of the net. Credit to the Cougars, though, to keep it going. Like you said, they haven't let up. They're still looking to find the back of the net. Ball sent up, straighting. Again, stayed on sides. Now off to the races in the box. Keeper comes out and makes the save, Tess Enlow.
Now, you might think that this keeper is having a bad half, but keep in mind, at the highest levels, keepers only have to make 1 or 2 stops, decent stops a half. She's made about 4 or 5. So, like, I would say the issue is with communication, but she's made some good stops. I mean, you cannot put this on her. I mean, she's had a different half. I mean, you look on the other side, Jordan Metz has probably made 4 or 5 good stops. So, like, I would almost put, you know, the goalkeepers here at similar levels. I mean, because, I mean, some of those shots, I mean, like a putback. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Cougars again with it. Frost. Bring it back. Wittenberg up to Bordson. Bordson able to turn, sending Frost, entering the box, and Frost again with the left foot, sends it across. Nobody able to get on it, but that could have easily made this game 5-0.
Yeah, and that's not on the keeper. I mean, like, you you can only cover so much ground as a human being.
Yeah, that ball slipping through in a different game. If that was the Cougars' only opportunity, they would have been wanting that one back. Another one sent in for the Cougars. And Tess Enlow there on the other end.
She has now made more saves than her counterpart.
Frost, see, entering the box, left foot,
like right
beautiful cross. That's
Beautiful.
exactly where you wanted it.
Beautiful
Those
little
runners
cross,
just
yeah.
ahead of it.
Just got to get a foot on it. A little bit of trivia here at the end of the first half. Blythe, do you know what a true hat trick is called? Do you know what a true hat trick is?
3 goals in the back of the net.
Yeah, no, that's a hat trick. But do you know what a true?
Oh, true hat trick.
Yeah, what they call it. Right foot, left foot, and your head. If you can get one with all 3, it's very rare. Called a true hat trick. Yeah, I thought of that when you said when she slotted it home with her left foot. I don't think I ever scored a goal with my left foot.
Oh, you're like, wait, is it nobody? And yeah, that would be.
I don't have a true hat trick for my entire career.
Not many people could ever say.
Let alone in one game. Right?
Most of the time too, because you know you're not overly going for that. As this time ticks out, 3, 2, 1, and we head to half. Centennial leading this one 4-0 over the Bengals. We've seen some good buildups by both teams, the Cougars being on the end of it to find that final pass into the back of the net. But we'll be back here for second half between both of these teams.
And the great song in the stadium, Don't Stop Believing, right?
Yes, exactly.
In soccer, you always got to give it your all.
The Bengals going to work their way to talk at halftime to find those openings here in the second half.
All right, we'll see you in a few, everybody. After a word from our sponsors.
Back with you here at Bengals Stadium, where the Centennial Cougars lead the way 4-0. As the floodgates opened here in the second game for them this season. They got 4 goals in the opener, and now having 4 already in just the first half has to feel good for Coach Krista Carlson. But if you're the Bengals, you're trying to get back into this one in the second half, Tim, and you definitely have to start chugging away early.
Funny you mentioned floodgates, because I think we have about 105% chance of rain here in the second half. Yeah, I would say sometimes, you know, having coached soccer myself, sometimes you just have to forget about the score line and just say, come on, let's put up a good fight here in the second half. Let's win the second half.
Showing Krista Carlson there, and she played professional soccer in New Zealand, so she has a great resume as she's coming to help coach these Cougars.
Maybe you tell your players that one goal's got the magnetic force. We'll have an 8-goal game, and all 8 goals will be scored on the same goal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when we switch sides. But yeah, it does seem that way a lot of times where when you have multiple goals being scored in one half, a lot of times it's frustration or you know, you kind of give that extra effort when you have the clean sheet. You don't want to give up any goals, and yet you dig in harder and you push off like that.
Yeah.
You know, try to keep a clean sheet. That kind of goes away when you're down 2-3-0.
Jordan Metz continues to be the keeper for this Cougar squad, and Tess Enlow is on the bench now for the Bengals. Madison Way stepped in net for them the rest of the way, I would assume. Way up there is Jordan Metz. On the far side there, Cubes helping get this ball.
I tell you, if I'm the new keeper, I'm probably yelling at my defenders. I said, if they score, they score, but just nothing easy.
Yeah, exactly. Help me out.
Just like put your shoulder into them, make them earn it.
Morales able to turn, face up, sending straighting. Denied there on the near side, and the fans are loving it.
Well, no, I was just laughing because college football starts today, so I was thinking, touchdown. Oh, wait. Wrong game.
And that was Malia Bilby, excuse me, on this near side. Ball sent up, trying to tip it further in the box, but it goes out of bounds. Cougars, again, they have that luxury of getting to play relaxed, not having to force anything. So we see this ball, Van Zee trying to tap it in the right direction, but that hit off her foot wrong.
I would say you're a long ways away from, you know, the old what we call run to the flag. You know, where you just get in the flag and say, make them take it away from you with, like, no desire to score. Usually you see that in, like, 2-1 games when there's, like, 3 minutes to go. You know, they're a long ways away from that, but I think they're still going to try to stay on the front foot and try to score. Just maybe not as attacking as the first half.
Bengals working from the defense, wanting to send this one up, but Lauren Allis has yet to score today after scoring 2 in the opener. And a missed touch there by Allie Hamsky, and like you said, whoops, coming the other way, Bengals.
The sun got in my ear. Well, not my fault, Coach.
Bengals able to get a touch all the way to Jordan Metz, but not enough to get by her.
Soccer sometimes is like that. If you just make a mistake in the wrong spot, I mean, if there's nobody behind you and you trip over the ball and give them a free shot, that could be a goal. Uh-oh.
Pascarella was almost able to get there. Her teammate got there first.
That's 2 shots on goal in the last minute, which is how many shots they had in all of the first half.
Yeah, you look at Stoughton's shot there in towards Metz, and just proving that she could really score at any time. She's getting the ball in there. That was a beautiful hit, good decision to take the shot, and Metz having to make the save. Straighting.
I mean, it kind of goes along with my point that I said before with scoring 4 goals. I mean, imagine if you were both those shots went in, and you were only up 3-0. Now it's 3-2, right?
Yeah.
That you have to realize that your opponent can play, even though that they're a little down now. They still can play, and you can't really be too easy on them.
Like I said, they have those dangerous players, Ascarella and Staden.
Nice save, by the way. She was kind of leaning the other way and was able to twist her by. That's tough to do.
Yeah, Madison Way able to come in the second half, didn't play in the first half, so you know you have to get your handle on the game quickly, and she has. Hamsky switching the fields.
Almost to the ref there. Nice job of getting out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. He definitely was swift with his movement. Didn't interfere with play. Bordson through the middle, sending up Van Zee, getting around one defender. Just about to have 3 on her at the same time. Knocks it off the defense, straighting, able to collect on the far side.
I liked her use of the stutter step there to get around the second defender. That was pretty good.
Yeah, you use whatever you can to try to fake them out. And
oh, you get beat by that move. That's like a pump fake where you just go flying. You're like, ah, you got me.
it happened. It happened.
It happened.
Getting the cross off, sent in towards net. Defense able to come up big to help Madison Way out, as that ball was just very close range.
Threw a ball there. Race to the ball. Looks like she'll play it back to the keeper there. Yeah, good play.
Yep, good decision, but Metz having to be on her toes to make sure that she was ready to clear that.
Oh, no foul.
Pushed off the ball, yeah, referee.
See, like if I'm a ref, I call that, but it's so subjective that, you know, it's whatever the ref deems too much, right? Like I would have thought that was too much, but, you know, I'm not the one in red today, so.
It would have been funny if you were wearing red, but.
Yeah, there you go.
They're like, hey, put Tim in.
I'm all red, right?
Hollis sending this one up. This is Bilby. Excuse me, Bilby. And she has scored a goal today, wanting another one.
I'll be like one of those guys that goes to an English Premier League match dressed in the full garb, like down to the cleats and the shin pads, like thinking they're going to put them in if like enough guys go down. Like, show up at a game with a full referee outfit on. Oh my gosh, did she squeeze that through? Oh my
Was able to stay on sides.
Razor thin margin there.
But a lot of defenders swarming her definitely as she entered the box. Hollis, defender on her back, plays the ball back. Samsky helps play up Bordson with some room.
Lots of
Able to get around run defender. She'll keep going, finding that quick dish and the give and go. Bordson taken down. Again, no call.
Boy, she had about 20 yards to go on her own there. She got around the one defender, and she had 20 yards of free space.
Yeah, the decision-making by Bordson, we've seen it come up time and time again.
You see, look, yeah, and just look here. I mean, ooh.
I'm surprised that one wasn't called.
That wasn't even in the box. That would have been in the semicircle there.
Cougars get the ball back. Van Zee sending it towards Metz. Excuse me, Way.
No, I would say this is the part of the game where you don't really feel threatened, where it's fun, where you just kind of take shots like that. You know, you don't have to capitalize on every opportunity. You're like, yeah, all right, I'll take a shot. See if I can get one past her.
And you're keeping him honest, too, making sure that she's paying attention. Maybe didn't think you were going to take the shot there. Van Zee. Ball too far. That was another one, kind of like you said, just let's take a shot.
Yeah. The old adage in English football is you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. But I wouldn't say it's that bad. It's more like, why not? You know, we're up by a bunch.
Allie Hillman and Peyton Padilla enter the game for the Bengals. And I believe there must have been lightning detected.
Lightning.
We were wondering if that would possibly interfere with today's game. It looks like it has. And the players will be taking cover.
105% chance of rain, give or take.
Yeah, I haven't necessarily noticed any raindrops. Now I think they're starting to fall from the sky. We are going to find out what this will look like. We believe maybe a 30-minute delay for lightning, but we will check that out and be back with you shortly.
So just hang tight with us. We'll be back with you.